Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. Give me a second, I'm reading an email.
No worries.
Okay, a second. Perfect. Pertaining to our meeting. So, okay. Looks like Ariel is trying to join. Um, and I don't see. Oh, yeah, somebody's trying to get in. I don't see. Um,
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Can-
such a cute dog.
uh, I foresee a problem here. It's like
He's so cute though.
as soon as I sit down for a Zoom, he's like, I want attention. Do you see? Okay, hang on. Someone's trying to get in, just trying to help her. And oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is a problem. He's biting me, like nibbling. Stop. Training. Not in the image. Okay. So sorry, guys. I need to send her another link. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, thank you girls for meeting with me today. We can start by introducing ourselves. You guys both know me, Kelly. Hello. We have Cheyenne here is going to be teaching New Academy Canoga Park. Wait, no. Sorry. You're going to be teaching growing outdoors classes out in Agora,
Yes.
correct? Okay, so she's teaching some hip hop classes. Somebody who can no longer be at the meeting today, she is teaching the New Academy Canoga Park Cheer, whereas Ariel, you are teaching New Academy Los Angeles Cheer. Oh no, you're teaching Canoga Park.
Yeah.
You guys, my head is just spinning
No
trying
worries.
to yeah, I've got so much going on, but so sorry about that. Yeah, you're Canoga Park cheer. She's LA cheer, and she couldn't make it today. And this is Shannon, and Shannon is currently teaching. Actually, she's teaching growing outdoors classes. So Shannon, Cheyenne up here. I was gonna say with the glasses, but you guys both have glasses on today. With her hair up, is going to be teaching the growing outdoors classes next session. Shannon is going to be teaching some other classes, and she's also moving into an office assistant manager type. We haven't figured out a title yet. Role with us, helping to do some admin work and packing costumes and stuff. So you guys will probably be hearing from her and seeing her. So she's already done teacher training, but I just wanted her to jump on with us. The more you know, the more you know. So we will go ahead and just try to start trekking through this. I'm going to share my screen with you. If anybody ever needs a break, potty break or anything, just holler. Don't feel bad. You're gonna rip my shirt. All right, let me let him outside real quick. Can you go outside? Go. Okay. All right. So you should have all received this email. Shannon, did you see this email? It's okay if not, but I did send it to you. The Zoom link is also in here. But yeah.
No, it appeared last night, but then I literally went back and looked for it, and it's like
Okay.
I looked in the archive and all of it, and it was not there. So I don't know.
Okay.
But
no big deal. I'm just gonna kind of read through here. So today we are going to go through our teacher training manual, which is this link up here, which has a bunch of items to go through. I'm going to show you how our Google Calendar works, our music and choreography website. I'll quickly touch on invoicing, but we can talk about that separately later. When you fill out your first invoice, you can call me, text me, I can go through it with you. Supplies to bring to class. We've already talked about this. I already know, I think it's Ariel, we're gonna get you a speaker. Cheyenne, you have your own speaker, and we'll get you some other supplies, the stickers and tape and some blank rosters. Funky Diva tank tops are coming your way. As a matter of fact, my business partner, Dana Marie, who I'm sure you guys will meet at some point, she is going to our storage warehouse right now to pack supplies for you guys. Let's see. Let's quickly go to our Google Calendar. I may have shown some of you guys this in the interview process, but I know I have not sent you guys your Google Calendar invites yet. They're coming today. I'm just taking everything one week at a time, and these are kind of the last classes to start in this winter session. So let's do new Canoga Park cheer. Ariel, let's do your class. So you're gonna receive this Google Calendar invite. So this is our whole calendar. Wait, that's not today. That's last session. Okay, new Canoga Park cheer. So these are all the classes on that day. You will just see on your own calendar on your phone. When I send you the Google Calendar invite, I'm sure you guys are familiar with this. You get a Google Calendar invite, you accept it. Excuse me. It will sync to your phone. So we will click on this. So you can just click on it once and it'll just do a little pop-up window, and it has all of the information for the school, or you can double click on it. It opens it all the way up. It will say all the information for each class you're teaching. So this class is cheerleading. The grades it's offered is kinder through fifth. This is one of our only schools that has a wide range. But at this particular school, it works. It's fine. The days and the times, the location of the school. The location is also up in this top bar right here. So you can just click on it and it can map you to your school. Let's see, down here is the contacts for the school. So, in case of emergency, sometimes we're going to get specific instructions for each school, and especially these new academy schools, but they'll tell us like, call this person when you arrive or something. Your school, Canoga Park, is actually a lot easier. The LA location, which I thought we'd be talking about today, but Leah couldn't make it. That one's a little more challenging. You have to call them to let you in the garage and stuff like that. So, you know, emergency contact if you're running late or you can't find your kids or whatever, those are your school contacts. I put in here also for you, Angelina Hagen. She's teaching the hip hop class while you're teaching the cheer class. So you guys are there at the same time. You'll be doing your show together. So you'll just be teaching in different areas. I've never been to the school, so I can't tell you exactly where you're at. I think you're in the gym. But she can help you like with any questions you might have. She's been doing it for about a year now at that school. And then here's your all of your dates. It'll always say in there if there's any dates off. So and I'll show you on the calendar where else it says that. There's no dates off on this session. So then show info. It'll say the day of your show and the time, which I don't know exact time for your school yet. It'll tell you whether your school can keep the shirts or if we can sell the shirts. Some of our schools, the shirt is included in the cost of the class. Other schools, it's not included. So this particular school actually, New Academy and also Cheyenne, your classes, it is not included. They do not keep them and we do not sell them. So you don't have to worry about any of that. But for some schools you do, and we'll let you know. Kids don't keep the pom-poms at New Academy. The school keeps them and we just reuse them every time. We purchased them originally, but they don't keep them. Costumes, it says in here, they wear school shirts, we bring skirts. We'll talk about the music and stuff later. I sent you an email earlier today. We'll get to that in a minute. School instructions. So any specific school instructions, like where to park, where to meet the kids, all that will also be in here. Okay, so I'm gonna send you this link after we get off this meeting because it's all ready for you. Okay, so it'll also say on your calendar, so if there's no class, it'll say like, yeah, this Madison one right here, it says no Madison. That's because that was Martin Luther King Day, and so it'll always say no beforehand. So you're given your dates here, but we also want you to write your dates on your roll sheet, your blank roll sheet that you're given. A few select classes get roll sheets that are already completed and that we complete for you. It'll have all the kids' names and all the dates on it for you to take roll. But those are kids that enroll through our website. And so we handle the registration. Most of the schools in the LA area, the schools handle the registration. They give us a list of names. So you take that list of names and you write them on your roll sheet so you can take roll. Okay, so I'll show you those roll sheets in a sec. Okay. Music and choreography website. I may have shown you guys this. So you'll get a link. I think I already sent you guys links. Did I send you links to this? Okay. So Dance Cuts Fall 2023. I left that on there for now because we actually have a couple fall classes that are just ending right now. That will be gone soon. Dance Cuts Winter 2024. So this is meant for our hip hop classes. All Stars, all the classes are doing. So in your Google Calendar event for hip hop classes, it also says which routines you're doing. So if you're teaching a preschool class, then you're going to do the preschool versions. If you're doing any class that's kinder through 5th grade, then you have specific instructions of which songs you do. We have one that's geared for older kids, one geared for younger, and then one geared for everybody. So All Stars is the routine this session that's geared for all grades, kinder through 5th. There's also a preschool version. Dance the Night. Oh, that's actually from last session, but some people are doing it this session. I Like You, a Happier Song, that's meant for the older kids, and Sunroof is meant kind of for the younger group, kinder through 2nd-ish. Jam on It is our finale song this session. So for example, Cheyenne, it'll say in your Google Calendar invite, but your kids, actually, it's 2 classes. So the younger kids will do All Stars and Sunroof. Then the older kids will do All Stars and I Like You, a Happier Song. Unless your older kids are not really older, you can do Sunroof and All Stars for both classes. So, but don't, well, I'll explain that again. You don't have to remember that. Okay. Cheer cuts. So there's one in here. This was specifically meant for somebody teaching a different cheer class. Ariel, we're going to talk a little bit later about your cheer music. World dance. We just started some world dance class. Shannon, we'll talk about that later. Dance cuts 2019 to 2023. These are all of our dance cuts from those years because we refer back to them, whether it be birthday parties or sometimes at a certain school, we're trying to find another routine to do. And so we'll say, oh, do that routine that you did last spring. And that's where you're going to find the music. Pop tunes, this is what you're going to use for warm up and games. So it's in alphabetical order. So you may want to mix it up and start, just scroll through it, and you don't have to start from song 1 every time. This is meant for another cheer class. Barbie music soundtrack, that was for a Barbie birthday party we did. Preschool exercises, in case you're doing a preschool class, we'd go over that. While You Were Sleeping is a game that we play that we'll go over later. And this is a playlist that goes along with that game. And that can be played for all classes. A specific cheerleading link. These are just some songs that are options for cheerleading classes. We have a Broadway dance class or musical theater dance class, and those are songs for that class. Halloween, so if you're teaching during Halloween time, you can use those. And these are just all specific to, if you want to use Encanto, Sing To. And here's the choreography videos that go along with those cuts. So the winter 2024 cuts go along with the choreography videos, winter 2022. Same thing, here's the older choreography videos. And then, what happened to All Stars? Okay. Should be, there we go. So the most current hip hop videos should have thumbnails here. Then here's the preschool versions. This is Brittany, who has been with us, I think, since 2009. So crazy. So she's actually in Vegas in a show right now. I forget which show. She was in Showstoppers at the Wynn, and then she came back for a few years, and now she's back doing another Wynn show. But so she's not doing as much, but she's doing this from Vegas for us. This is Olivia, who does summer camps for us. Also been teaching for us for a while, so that's who you see here. Okay, back to, okay, invoicing. I will just do a brief, quick. Okay. So this is just an example here. So you can type in the date. So if you just put 1/24 and then hit tab, then it automatically converts it to say Wednesday, January 24th. You do not need to type that out. It just converts. Then if you're doing a dance class, just start typing dance class and click on it. If you're doing a birthday party, there's different options here, which I can talk to you about these individually once you do these jobs. A pop star party lead, pop star party assistant. We have, let's see, princess character parties on here, a music video party, and then the description. So if you're teaching at Yerba Buena, you can say Yerba Buena 1. If you're teaching 2 classes in a row, I don't care if you do like Yerba Buena 1 and 2, or you can do Yerba Buena 1 on one line and Yerba Buena 2 on another line. It doesn't matter to me. But for example, so say it was 2 hours, say your rate. I know this is not your rate, but this is what it says above here. This is old. So it was $40. Let's say it was $50. And then the invoice period, so say it was during January 16th to 31st. Those 2 classes times $50, and then you put $100. So you just keep adding your jobs here. And then when you are ready to submit it, actually, hang on, let me back up. So we'll just use this one for example. If you want to total your invoice, it's just like a regular Google, not Google, Excel spreadsheet. So you click on this cell right here, or I don't really care which cell. Wait a second. You're gonna add it up like this. Sum, highlight all these, hit return, and then your total shows up right here. You don't have to do the total. You can just leave it blank if you want. I can also remind you of how to do that later. And then when you are ready to share, this is what's important. You're going to hit share. And then you have to type in info at Funky Divas and Dudes. You'll see it like this. You have to make sure to hit send. When you hit send, then I receive an email, and that's notifying me that you're ready to get paid. So usually at the end of the month, I'll go through and double check like that everybody submitted their invoice. But if you want to get paid twice a month, for the 1st to the 15th, and then a second time for the 16th to the end of the month, then make sure to submit it, because if you don't, I won't think to pay you. You can always text me and say, did you get my invoice? But that just notifies me that you're ready to be paid. Once you're paid, then I'm gonna make a gray line. You don't need to make this gray line, I do it. And then I'm gonna put that you were paid on 1/15/24, and then I'm gonna put a reference number and I highlight it in yellow, like this. And then I lock the area at the top that you've already been paid for, all of this. So you can't type in there again, because we don't want to delete that. After you're done with that one, then you're just going to keep going on this same invoice. So it's just an ongoing invoice for the whole year. And then next year, then I make a new tab down here at the bottom. So you'll have, it'll say the year. This would say 2024, and then the next one would say 2025. So
Hey, Kelly.
again, we can, yeah.
Sorry. So when I opened my invoice again, it didn't have the prior ones on it. Is that okay? Or
it doesn't have the prior.
When I
year?
opened it again, when I sent last time, it didn't have the one I had submitted prior to that.
Okay. Hang on. I'm stopping sharing really quick. Let me look. Like, oh, it's there.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it, but I would see it on my end, right? I didn't see it. Or maybe is it in the tabs? Is it in the prior tabs?
It's in the tabs.
Okay. So for January, when I pull it up again, I'll see the other one I just submitted, right?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, and we can
It's
look at
probably because
that
it was
on,
December, and then
maybe.
now all the
Uh,
January ones will be on.
yeah, we'll look at it. Let's look at that on Friday. Remind me.
Okay.
Okay. So using choreography. Okay, so just a reminder, every class, bring your phone. You're gonna play your music from your phone. Make sure you test it ahead of time using the link for the music and choreography website. Some people choose to upload music to their phone, so you actually have the MP3 on your phone. You're not relying on the internet. I leave that all up to you to figure out what works best for you. Shannon, have you ever had any issues playing any music from the website?
I mean, I download anything that I want to play because
Okay.
I will say sometimes Agora Hills does not have the best service, so I just like I download whatever I use so I don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Cheyenne, are you proficient in putting music on your phone, like downloading it?
Yeah, I can figure it out. Normally I use Spotify playlists. I already have a preset, but I can download them onto my phone, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
Cheyenne,
And if you were
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead.
It's if you have Spotify, because that's what I use too, it should have a local files in your Spotify. So when you download it, it should automatically upload to your Spotify in your local files playlist.
Oh,
And then you
okay.
can just play it
Okay.
directly off of Spotify. Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
Shannon, we should also go through that on Friday. So you can show me how that works so I can share that with people. It's been an ongoing battle trying to figure out. I would love to just make a Spotify playlist for people, but we cut the music. And so previously you couldn't use edited music in any playlists like that. So, but technology is always changing. So I'm just like, if people find something out, like let me know.
Yeah.
Make it easier for everybody.
If it's the show music, I won't have any issues at all. It's just when it's like just like warm-up music and stuff like that. It's just I don't
That's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I noticed that
Definitely at least.
oh sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
noticed somewhere that it said that we weren't allowed to use Spotify. So I just wanted to double check on that because
It's okay if you use Spotify. If the only problem is sometimes people think it's clean music, but it might say stupid, shut up, damn, like because those are radio friendly words. So if you know the song has nothing in it, I'm okay with it. But it's just that's really what it is because radio friendly songs have, I mean, the kids will call you out. They'll be like, oh my gosh, that said stupid. So and you don't want that.
most of my stuff is Disney, so it should be
Then that's fine. That's fine. If it's Kids Bop or something, there's ways around it. It's just like some people, we have to make it simple for them and just say don't use that because they don't think about things like stupid. Or I know you know what's appropriate. We have some teachers, I especially think of like some of our breakdance teachers we've had that just, I don't know, don't have common sense and will play things that are just not appropriate. And we're like, I get it, that's radio friendly, but it's not for little kids at an elementary school. So
it's really easy to download those warm-up songs into that local files playlist. And what I do is I just do like maybe four that I really like, and then like maybe next session you switch out different 4 songs, so you don't have to put them all on your, you know what I mean? Like I have the show songs and then I have like 4 of the warm-up songs, and it doesn't take up that much space. So
that's good to know. Thank you.
that is good to know. Yeah. And you really don't need to use that much other music during class, because it's like warm up is super short, and then you can use one song for a game, like start and stop, or maybe two songs, like in that class. Anyways, okay, so thank you, Shannon, for that. We can all test that out and see how that works. Okay. Teacher training manual. Let's get to that. Okay, so this is a link that you guys always have access to for cheerleading classes. There is a link here. There's one actually specific for New Academy. This is what, I don't know if you saw it, Ariel, but I sent it to you this morning with some other cheer teachers. We won't go through this now, but there's actually like just a quick little curriculum. Here's some cheer inspiration. So here's some example show videos. And there is some, this is for, well, you're not a cheerleader, so this will be really good for you. There's some cheer positions in here that you'll learn. Here is like a YouTube video on how to do a cheer kick. So you know, like the cheer way. A toe touch, it's like exactly how to do a toe touch. Then it's a couple other beginner jumps that if you want, you can teach them these things if you have extra time. If you wanted to do a thigh stand, if you had extra time, then feel free. And if you think the kids can handle it. And then here's some cheers and chants. These are all just things I pulled from YouTube. You can YouTube them yourself too, to find some that are like age appropriate for your kids. So you can go through these and choose whatever you want to do. These ones are, it says cheers for sitting down when sitting on the bench in the stands. Some of our cheer classes actually cheer at a school sporting event. So like instead of a show, we actually just go to a game and they cheer on the sidelines for the first half of the game. And then at halftime, they do their little pom dance routine, which it's super cute. So this one is meant for them that go to a game. For New Academy, we don't cheer at a game. They just do a show, and the show is combined with the hip hop class. And then these are some little moves. These are the little cheer motions. Our dance class games, these are the same games as our dance class that we're going to go over later. Team building games, just more if you need time fillers. And then this is a little history of cheerleading that if you felt like it, you can like read that to the kids. I don't know if past teachers at New Academy have read it to the kids, but it's there in case you want to read it. Okay. And then music video dance class, we haven't been doing lately, but we do make music videos in our summer camps. So if any of you guys end up doing summer camps, then we will be teaching, and we do it at our birthday parties too. So we use an app called, I'm blanking, Video Star. Do you guys know Video Star? Yeah. Okay, so basically we make a music video, do it like using Video Star. I'll show you guys an example music video at some point in here. Preschool exercises, so this is specific to the preschool classes. We won't talk about that today. But I'm gonna skip number 1 and 2 here. Those are the long, more boring stuff. This number 3, it says class rules and quick guide curriculum. That is, oh, I thought it was spelled wrong, but it says PDF at the end. Okay. So right here is our class rules at the top. And now this is something, if you have a printer, you can print it out, or you can pull it open on your phone and screenshot it. On the first day of class, we do a little introduction, which we'll talk about in a minute. And we go over, like when you take roll or go around the circle and introduce yourselves, you're also going to go over the class rules. So make sure to do this on the first day of class, kind of set the tone for the kids, make sure they know that you're the boss. You know, you're going to have fun in the class, but just simple rules like no chewing gum or eating in class. Use the restroom before class or at break. They must ask the teacher to use a restroom. All the schools have different rules of restrooms. Some of them, they want you to go with a buddy. Some of them, there might be a restroom right there in your room, in the gym or something. So it's all depends on the school. Some schools like New Academy, actually both of your schools have, you have an assistant in your class. Growing Outdoors has an assistant in the class that is there to help with any discipline. They bring the kids to you. They stay in class with you. If, you know, any bathroom help or something, they'll help you with that. And then same thing for you, Ariel. New Academy provides an assistant that whatever you need. Tell the kids to dress comfortable. If they're wearing a skirt, make sure they have shorts underneath, wear tennis shoes. Most of the schools, those are just school rules now. I feel like all girls wearing skirts have shorts underneath now anyway. And they have to wear closed-toed, like rubber sole shoes to school. So usually that's not an issue, but just in case, you can let them know that. Talk about respect. Respect your teacher, respect others, and talk about what respect means. An important rule in Funky Divas is we never say, I can't, I don't want to, I'm not going to, I don't like that. You want to tell them we always try things, because after you try it, you may like it. And if you don't know how to do it, that's what the teacher is there for, to teach you how to do it. And the last and most important rule is to have fun. You can also add in other rules in there depending on your situation. If you're on the stage in the theater, then maybe have a rule that you can't go in the wings or behind the stage, because then you can't see the kids. So depending on your situation, feel free to add any other rules in there. And then as needed, you know, if your kids are struggling with something like pulling on the curtains or whatever, when you get to class the following week, maybe review any rules that they need to remember. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. So this one is just like a little quick guide curriculum. I'm gonna revamp this, but basically it just says like what you do on the first day, warm up, across the floor. I mean, just a general dance class, you guys know. But we will go over that more extensively in our dance class instructions. Stretches. So this is really meant for mostly like preschool and kindergarten classes, but these are just example stretches with analogies like put your arms in a T and you're gonna, or make an airplane. And so when you're stretching, it's like, okay, make your airplane arms. And where do you want to fly to? I want to fly to Hawaii. Okay, let's fly to Hawaii. Just making the warm-ups more fun for them. Or, you know, things like making a butterfly, you know, sitting on the ground with your knees open and where are we going to fly to? Or our favorite is to make a pizza. So when you're sitting on the ground with your legs open in second, and instead of just stretching side to side, we make a pizza. So, okay, what's the first ingredient that goes on a pizza? And we let them yell it out. And they say, the dough. Okay, let's knead our dough. And so maybe like reach over here to grab your dough. And then let's knead the dough, get your rolling pin. And so now they're stretching in front and rolling out their dough. And then what's the next ingredient? Pizza sauce. Okay, let's reach in the cupboard and grab the pizza sauce and now spread it on and just, you know, make all of it stretches. And then the cheese, and grate your cheese and pepperoni, whatever. And I like to finish it off with, okay, now let's put in the oven for 10 seconds. And then you're gonna reach forward, you're gonna put it in the oven, you're gonna stretch straight in front in the center, and everybody counts to 10 and you're done, and then you eat your pizza. So anyways, these are just if you have some younger kids and you want some ideas, if you probably have your own, you guys are all experienced teachers, so you probably have your own stretches you like to do. You're more than welcome to do whatever makes you comfortable. We don't do long stretches. It's not a half an hour, 20 minutes of stretching. It's like a song of stretching. Dance class game. So we always play games at the end of class. If there's time, we usually try to make time, unless you're getting close to the end of the session and you need to finish your dance routine or something, then maybe you skip it. Name game with dance moves. This is something we always try to play on the first day. Shapes, freeze dance with questions, would you rather, Huggy Bear. This is a favorite. While you were sleeping. Shannon, what do your kids like to play?
They usually like to play variations of freeze dance.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems to be
And you
their.
have your kids are on the younger side.
Yeah, they are. And one class is only 9 kids and the other is only 5. And the class with the 5 kids, majority of them have some emotional problems. So they don't, it's a lot of the time is spent trying to keep them not crying or yelling. So
Remind me what school that is. Is that Summit
that's
Mariposa?
Mariposa. Yeah. Yeah. But the growing outdoors people are really awesome though, and they really like they're super helpful with that. So but yeah, they definitely don't. There's less kids in that class, but we don't play as many games because like it takes longer to get their stuff together. But I've also noticed sometimes stopping in the middle and playing a game a couple times and then coming back to it, then they that respond well to that as well. The growing outdoors people are usually good about like, yeah, let's do that really quick and then, help me get them all back to their spot. But then the Yerba Buena though, they're pretty good about, we usually have time to dance because they or play games. They're pretty well behaved.
That's where you'll be teaching, Cheyenne, is Yerba Buena.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm familiar with some of those
Um,
kids too.
oh yeah, she's taught at these schools. I forgot. You know. Okay. Um, okay, so name game. Have you guys ever played name games in dance classes before? You have? Okay. Then I'm not really gonna go over it too much. We just have them stand in a circle and everybody picks a move that goes along with their name. So I would do my name, Miss Kelly, and then everybody would copy me, Miss Kelly, and then the next person will go and they make up their move. We like to do, it really depends on how big or small your class is, but in a normal size class, maybe like 10 kids, maybe do three people. So you did me, the next person, and the next person. Then you say, okay, let's try to remember all 3 of them. So let's start from the beginning and see if we can remember each person's name and dance move. So we'll go Miss Kelly, and then Shannon, Ariel, and then we'll have the 4th person go, okay, what's yours? And they do theirs. Then the 5th person does theirs. The 6th person does theirs. Okay, let's see if we can remember all of those. So you rewind back to the beginning and keep going around the circle until you finish everyone. And then you do the whole, see if you can remember the whole entire class. And then maybe do it backwards. And then you can do it again and turn on some music that has like a good consistent beat and do each one like 4 counts of my move, 4 counts of the next move, 4 counts of the next move, and do it without the names, but just do the dance moves all the way around the circle. And then tell them that you made up choreography. That's what choreography is, or you're the choreographer. Just kind of explain what that is. And then, of course, just depending on if you have a giant class, sometimes I do not do the rewinding. I'll just get through it and just have everyone do their name and a move and have everybody copy them, because you don't want to waste. It just gets to be too much. And depending on how old the kids are, they can't really they get too antsy sitting through that. Shapes is kind of like a freeze dance game, but you pick 4 poses. So these are just examples. Number 1 is a disco pose. Number 2, fold your arms like you're cool. Number 3, touch the ground. 4, ballerina pose. So when you play the music, the kids are dancing, freestyle, stop the music, and you can call like number 2, and they have to hit that number 2 pose. You can play it where they don't get out, they're just doing it for fun. Or if you have kids that are a little older and you want to get them out, then you can make up a rule like the last person to hit the pose is out. And yes, that's it for that one. Freeze dance with questions. So this is what Shannon said she likes to do. There's lots of variations you can do. Just freeze dance, but when you stop, maybe call out, what's your favorite color? They all yell out, just to make freeze dance a little more exciting. Would you rather is another one. So when you freeze, you can say, would you rather be invisible or fly? There's some examples here. You can just read those if you want. Huggy Bear, this is something we play at our birthday parties. It's also like a freeze dance. When the music's on, the kids are just freestyle dancing. When you stop the music, you call a number. If you call the number 1, they hug themselves because they're one person. Call number 2, then they find a partner and hug them. 3, hug a group of 3 people. 4, hug a group of 4. You might have to get in there and help them get into groups because they're like a little confused, especially if they're younger, like as far as counting how many people go, okay, these 3 are done, like nobody else can get in this group. If they're older, it's easy to play this game. Did I say if you call 0, then they hit a rock star pose? So the goal of this is the last 2 people left. If they don't find a group, then they're out. So if you had, let's see, you had 10 kids and you called 3. So a group of 3, a group of 3, another group of 3, and then there's one person that didn't get a group, then they're out and they get to be on your team and help you call the number. So we always try to manipulate the game so that nobody gets out for a while. Again, if there was 10 kids, then maybe call 2. So everybody finds a partner. Then call 5, and there's 2 groups of 5. Call 1, call 10. So, and you can just keep doing that for a while. So everybody's dancing and everybody's playing the game. And then when you want to start getting people out, then start calling those numbers that are going to get people out. So the last 2 people left are the winners. But again, if the kids are younger and you don't want to really do the winning thing, you just kind of play it for fun. While
Kelly,
you were sleeping, this is, yes.
I just wanted to mention that the Agora Hill schools right now are having kind of like an outbreak of COVID. So just to be aware of that for the game like that.
Okay. So this game we actually took off of our game list during COVID. So it recently made its way back onto the list. But if you're having an outbreak in your area, then just don't play this game. Just no problem. While you were sleeping, so this is like a little kind of acting, dancing exercise. So this is the one that has the playlist on the website. So you can either just have the kids lay down and fall asleep, or if they don't want to lay down on the ground, depending on what kind of surface you're on, they can just kneel down and pretend like they're sleeping. You can either tell a story, like once upon a time, there was a bunch of little jelly bean kids or little gummy bears, and they were in their Candyland dance class, and they were so tired, they were dancing so much that when their mom came to pick them up, they fell fast asleep in the car. That was a stupid story, but you know, I elaborate a little bit more and make it like funny and cute. While they were sleeping, they dreamt they were flying on an airplane. And the first song on the playlist is Around the World, that la 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 la. It goes around the world, la 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 la. So they have their arms out and they're flying around the room, and you can say, where are you flying to? And they all yell out where they're flying to. And then you stop the music and they all go back down and fall asleep. While you were sleeping, you dreamt you were And there's just all kinds of songs like basketball song, and you can be the hoop and they can dribble around and try to shoot hoops. What else is there on there? Country, ballet, just lots of little things. And you can just read the songs and you can think what the theme is. You can tell just by the name of the song. Or you don't have to tell a story. You can just say, let's play while you were sleeping. Everybody fall asleep. You say, while you were sleeping, you dreamt you were, and then play the songs. Okay, here's some examples. So rock star, ballerina, you're a hula dancer in Hawaii, you're riding the horse at the rodeo, you're surfing, it's like Surfing USA. You're magical and you can fly. Or you could be silly and say, you dreamt that your hands were stuck to your knees and you have to walk around like that. This last game, I need to delete this. This is kind of like an acting game, but it's hard. So we don't need to do that in our dance classes.
Can I use the restroom super fast? Perfect.
Yes, go ahead. You know what? I'm going to use the restroom really quick too. Hang on one second. Let's see. Did everybody leave to go to the restroom? Okay. Okay. Everybody took a little break, Ariel. Okay, so blank roll sheets. I'll show you this real quick. So this is something Dana should be giving you guys a little stack of blank roll sheets. There's two versions in here. This one is longer for a longer session and then has space for 25 kids, just depending on the size of your class and the length of your session. I can make you guys personalized roll sheets or revised ones if you want. Just let me know. So basically what this is, we want you to write in the kids' names on here, put their grade and their gender. And then in the gray boxes up here, write all of your class dates. So this is not going to be the exact amount of boxes for your class, but we also want you to write in here when you have days off. So for example, President's Day, if you teach on a Monday, actually write February, I forget what it is, February 19th or something. And then write down the column, like no class. I have an example here somewhere, but I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying. It helps you to visually see, okay, I have 4 classes left and I have no class next week. You also have this information on your calendar, but we just think it's really helpful to have it visually written out there. And then the roster, some of our schools' role is important, other schools it's not important, but it's just, we just like you to take roll. Sometimes we have discrepancy with a school or a parent, if a kid is coming to class. Like I said, some schools it really matters because like if they enroll through our website, we need to let the school know who's coming to class. And then if a kid's not showing up to class, we need to know that. So just, it's important to take roll. The grade and the gender, I just added on here. This is going to help us for costume sizes. Since we're packing shirts for the kids, really what we need to know from you is their grade or their age. If you already have, they might get, when the school gives you a roster, it might say the grade on it. So you can just put that right in. Or if not, like the first class, you can ask them what grade they're in and put it on. So when we ask for costume sizes from you, you can just literally look at your roster. You can take a photo of your roster and send it to us. And then maybe if there's any special notes, like this girl is in 3rd grade, but she's super tiny, or this kid's in kindergarten, but he is the size of a 2nd grader. Like you can say special notes like that. You don't need to tell us exactly what size they are. Okay. All right, dance class instructions. And you guys stop me at any time if you have questions, okay? And Shannon, if you have any input, feel free to give it. Okay, some of this stuff we've already gone through, so I'm just gonna try to skim through it. One thing on here that I keep forgetting to modify, it says that if you rent a speaker from us, that it's a $25 charge that you get refunded. That's not the case. That is too much work for me to do, to remember to charge somebody and then refund them later. So that doesn't happen. But we do just have you sign a contract if you're renting something, just saying you rented it and you're responsible for it. And so you have to respect it and all that stuff. You know, we'll charge you. We used to rent out MP3 players. I think Shannon, we just talked about this. Little iPods. We used to, and like they would come back to us cracked and just destroyed, and those things were not cheap. I was telling Shannon before that we were giving out boom boxes and CDs. So like you had to carry your boom box around with you, and I was burning CDs and getting into the teachers. That was crazy. Music, we already talked about that. Hopefully we can revamp this to talk about the Spotify, uploading the songs to Spotify. Class itinerary, try to arrive to your classes 10 to 15 minutes early to allow time for parking. And then finding, especially the first day of class, of course, but any other days. Some schools parking is difficult because of carpool. Some schools parking is super easy. So you'll know after your first day of class, like what your school situation is like. We do have a couple schools that expect you to be at least 10 to 15 minutes early. If it's 5 minutes to class and the teacher's not there, I'll get a call from the school. You guys are not teaching at those schools, but just be mindful. Don't be arriving at 3:30 if your class starts at 3:30, because then you're not going to be starting class on time. Taping the floor and making windows. I think I talked to you guys about this already. I think. Did we talk about, we face the kids when we teach them? Ariel or Cheyenne, we talked about that. Ariel, I don't know if we talked about that. So we mirror the kids when we're teaching them, because you're not in a dance studio with mirrors, and you just need to have your eyes on them at all time. So we give you painter's tape to tape the floor. So when you first arrive to class, just mark the floor, little pieces like this long, mark them in windows formations, so that when the kids come in, sometimes you have access to set up the classroom ahead of time. If you do, try to do this before your kids get there. Some situations you don't have that capability, but if you do, just try to be all set up, have your speaker set up, tape the floor, so the kids come in and everybody goes to a spot, and then you just have perfect windows formations. Because sometimes they're little kids that you're like, okay, everyone make windows, like if you're at a dance studio, and they're not good at it at all, and there's no mirrors for them to see how sloppy it looks. So the tape is really helpful. If you have younger ones, you might get a Sharpie with your packet of stuff. Sometimes you might want to write their names on it. And once you determine like what their actual spots will be for the routine, then write their names on it. And then the kids will see their names and go right to their names. And then eventually they'll have it memorized and you don't need to write their names. If you have a huge class, you're not going to write their names, but a smaller class, it's no big deal.
I have those dots. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you can use those.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And some of our classes are situations that taping the floor won't work, and those dots will work. So, but yeah, the dots are totally fine. Okay, so introduction on the first day of class. Have everybody sit in a circle. So if you don't know how to make a nice circle, have everybody hold hands while they're standing up. And then you can have them spread out and make a nice perfect circle, and then have them sit down. Explain to them what Funky Divas Dudes in class, Funky Divas and Dudes dance class or cheer class, whatever you're teaching, entails. Tell them you're going to learn some fun dance routines and put on a show wearing costumes on the last day of class. If there's anything you want to tell them about yourself, any fun information, feel free. And then you can go around the room and introduce the kids, you know, if they all want to say their name and their favorite something. And then take roll. Make sure roll is fun and quick. Don't waste time on it. Go over class rules. Those are what we read already. And then ask the kids these questions. What's your favorite song? Does anybody have a favorite song? And have them raise their hand, and you can call on a couple kids to say their favorite songs. If they do have some favorite songs and they're songs that are like good for dance class, then let me know and I'll put them on that playlist for everyone to use. And then ask the kids, has anyone ever taken a dance class before? And if you're at a school that has done Funky Divas and Dudes for a while, which you guys are, you can say, has anyone taken the Funky Divas and Dudes class before? And then let's see, does anyone know how to count in dance class? And you know, it's kind of a trick question for those kids that have not taken dance classes before. So okay, how do we count in dance class? And somebody raises their hand and they count. And then you say, you know, maybe they get it right or wrong, then tell them, okay, so what comes after 8? And everybody yells 9, 8 in dance class. And then you say, no, you actually start again. And you explain to them that you count by 8 counts. And once you count to 8, then you start all over. I'll have to say, with these younger kids, we don't usually do a ton of 8 counts, like meaning sometimes when I'm teaching these younger ones, I'm counting by 8s out loud, and other times I'm calling out the moves. And now we're gonna roll our arms. You know, sometimes it's 5, 6, 7, 8, and sometimes it's just saying the moves. But it's just a good thing for them to learn because this is a basic dance class. Some of the kids have taken dance classes and some of them have never. So you want to teach them like the fundamentals, the basics. So, you know, teaching 8 counts is just a good thing for them to learn, whether you use it a lot in the class or not. What instrument plays the beat? Does anyone know what instrument plays the beat? And usually somebody knows, and then they yell out the drums. And so then you can do a little exercise, have the kids stand up, play a song that has a good consistent beat, and just do a little exercise like clapping to the beat. And say everybody has to try and clap at the exact same time with the drum beats. And then if you want, you could do it double time. And then if you want, you can do like stomping to the beats, you know, or marching to the beat. Just little things to help them understand that they actually have to stay on the beat because again, they might not know. Okay, so all of that was something we do just the first day of class. That's our little like introduction. After that, you can do your little stretch warm up, teach your dance routine, just get through as many 8 counts as you can, and then play games. Or like Shannon said, maybe you might have a class that might need a little break from learning choreography. Most of our classes don't really need a break, but there are those special classes that, you know, have a hard time focusing. So, so the rest of the classes, basically you skip the whole introduction. The only thing you might do is take roll. You don't even necessarily have to call roll. If you have a small class, you can just make a note, so-and-so is absent. You don't have to call their names out. Okay, let's see. So moving on. I already went over that. Warm-ups is 5 to 10 minutes. Usually more like 5 minutes. I'm gonna skim through this. Dance routines. So for most of the classes, meaning the hip hop classes, it is 2 choreographed dance routines per session. And then the third one is the freestyle finale where they bow and they each one at a time do their freestyle moves. Cheer is a little different, so we're not talking about that particular curriculum right now. We already talked about it. There is 2 versions. There's the preschool and the kinder through 3rd grade plus, or kinder through 5th grade. We used to not really have 4th and 5th grader. It offered to 4th and 5th graders, but we do now. Okay, please know your choreography prior to class. Try not to reference the video while you're teaching, unless you just like need to look at one quick little part, of course, but don't try to like learn it while you're in class and teach it. If you're not prepared for class, the kids will run all over you. If there's ever any moves that seem too girly, that shouldn't really be the case anymore. The way our choreography is designed, it shouldn't really be girly moves. But if there is something you think is a little girly for some specific boys in your class, change the moves. Teaching the routine. So make sure the kids are in their taped formations. Mirror the kids while teaching the routine. Work on as many 8 counts as you can get through each class. The quicker they learn the dances, the more time they have to practice throughout the rest of the session. Call out the moves to the kids while you are dancing towards the beginning of class, and then slowly stop doing this as you get closer to the show day. Try to dance a half a count ahead so the kids will follow on the correct count. Now, you don't have to do that. That's just a little something that me and my business partner both found that we do, especially when teaching dance routines at birthday parties. You teach them a dance routine in 20 minutes. And then they're going to perform it for the parents. So you want them to look clean and you want it to be on beat with the music. So if we know we're about to go do a roll, we'll go like half a count ahead. So by the time the kids get there, they're on beat of the music, you know? So just like a little trick, this is just something you probably would naturally do as you're watching the kids and you're in that situation. But just a little trick if it works for your class. Formations. Try to have your formations set, like who's standing where for the show, by around the third class. We've had teachers that don't do this, and then like the day of the show, they're trying to set their formations, and then they have partner work, and then the kids are confused and they don't know who their partner is. But if you have your formation set from the very beginning of the session, then the kids, their muscle memory will remember, like, my partner is so-and-so, and when I have to turn this way to get to them. But if you're not setting those formations until the end of the session, then the show's a disaster. So when you decide your formation, write it down on the back of your roster. Just make like little dot formations and write their names. So if the kids forget where they're standing, you have your little cheat sheet and you can tell them where to stand. I'm sure you guys already do these things. This is just dance class for, all the little details are noted here. Base the formation on height and dancing ability. As you guys know, like if there's a child who just doesn't dance, just stands there, don't put them in the front and center. Put them off to the side or maybe in the second row. If they're super short and tiny, you probably don't want to put them in the second row. Just, be wary of those things. Let's see. Sometimes since you're doing 2 dance routines, if you want to switch their, like say you have a group of kids where they're all pretty much the same ability and the same height, you want to give them all opportunity to be in the front row, then you can switch rows. Like one routine, you have one group start in the front, the next routine, the next starts in the front. Your routine might have some formation changes or whatever, depending on how old your kids are. But as a general like base formation, you're welcome to do that. But if you do it, just practice it from practice it before the show day. Okay, so the goal is to teach all the routines towards the middle of the session, if possible, so that you can focus on just rehearsing the routines the last half. That way you're not scrambling to teach a routine on the last class. Plan to teach one routine in completion within 2 to 3 classes. Practice your finale throughout the session. So this is something you can do during game time. It's like a game. Just place an X in the center of the floor where you want them to come forward and freestyle. So when they do their finale, after they hit their last pose of their second routine, whatever their pose is, then the third song plays, and that is the finale song. Then you're going to have them all hold hands and take some bows, maybe, take 3 bows or something. Then have them back up into one straight row towards the back of the room. And then to make it easy, you're just going to go down the line and like from left to right and have that person come forward. So you mark an X in the middle of the dance floor. They have to walk to the X and then, or dance to the X or run to the X, whatever, and show off their moves. And then when they're done, they can either take a bow or a curtsy or hit a move or just go back to their spot. And then the next person comes forward. The X is to help them have a destination to go to. If you don't put an X, they might just take like a little tiny step forward and go and back up. But if there's an X, they'll go, okay, I have to go up there, you know. And the more you practice the finale, the better it's going to be, because they might get scared to do their freestyle moves. If somebody is super scared to do it, don't force them. Or if you want to let kids go in pairs, that's okay too. You know, just try to have them go one at a time. But if you're feeling like, okay, this child really wants to go with a partner, that's fine. But yeah, the more you practice it, then the more confident they become, and they can start figuring out throughout the session like what moves they want to do for their freestyle. And then after everybody has had a turn to go forward and do their solo freestyle, then you have all of them rock out, and you can even yell out like, okay, now everybody rock out. And then all the kids start dancing all over. And then after a little bit of time has gone on and it's like starting to drag, then you can like lower the music and then say, everybody hit a rock star pose. They hit a pose, and that's the end. Okay, games. So like we said, we usually reserve a little time towards the end of class to play games. Stickers, we give you stickers to reward the kids for good behavior before leaving the class. But you know how schools are, everybody has to get a reward. Otherwise we'll hear about it, but we use it as leverage. If there's a child that's acting out, then you can threaten, well, if you're not listening, then you're not going to get a sticker. You are going to give them a sticker, but you can just use it as a threatening tool. And then maybe when you give them the sticker, say, okay, I'm going to give you the sticker, but you have to remember next week, you have to be a good listener. Let's see. We find that giving, especially if you have a bigger class, it's easier just to have them put their hand on their head and just walk down the row and put a sticker on their hand and say, you get what you get and you don't get upset. If you have a smaller class, you're welcome to let them pick a sticker, but you know, with kids picking stickers, sometimes it can take a long time. So that's your time. Like, so it's up to you. It just really depends on your class. If, you know, like I said, if it's a small class and they're like, you have time to let them do that, then that's fine. If you run out of stickers, you can let me know. I usually just Amazon people new stickers. Or if you wanted to buy something yourself, you can, and I'll reimburse you, but you just have to be mindful of things like, you know, no Christmas stickers at a Jewish temple, and no St. Patrick's Day stickers at a Jewish temple, and certain schools, you know, not celebrating Halloween and things like that. So it's easier if we just buy them for you, but you are welcome to use your own stickers too. No candy, no gum, no food snacks. We used to do all of that, not gum, but we used to have treats like cookies on the last day of class as a little celebration. But these days with food allergies and all that good stuff, we just stay away from it. After class, follow the procedures of the school. Each school is different. So some schools might have a sign out sheet and the parents come to you. Some schools you might bring the kids to the aftercare pickup area or the carpool line. It's all different. So let's see, make sure that the classroom is always left the way it was when you arrived. So most rooms you don't have to do anything to. Usually it's just like an auditorium or whatever, but every once in a while they'll put us in a room, like somebody's room, and you have to like move some tables aside. Just make sure you put it back. I don't think that's going to be the case for any of your classes, but just in case. I've had a teacher get really mad at me before. I took a picture. I would take a picture of the classroom when I arrived, and then the kids helped me move the tables and chairs aside, and then we would put it back exactly how it was in the photo. And this teacher was such a like witch. She would complain that it was not like exactly how it was. I'm like, well, this, you know, they gave us your classroom, so deal with it. All right, show day performance. We kind of talked about it. We just asked to get costume sizes. So that's why I added that on the roster, so we can so something new that we've started doing is we're doing certain shirts each session. So the fall session, they were peach tank tops and t-shirts. So every school got those. And then this session, they're going to be like an aqua blue. So we have to order the shirts every session. Before we used to mix match, like we have black, pink, blue, like, so it was like different schools got different colors, whatever we had in stock. So we're just trying to simplify it. So it just means we have to place a big order every session. So we might be asking you like, how many kids are in your class and how many boys, how many girls, just so we know how many to order. So if you have that written on your roster, it just makes it easier for us. Like, yeah, and just send us a photo of your roster and we know how many boys, how many girls, about what their sizes are. And then that kind of kills like, well, I hate that expression. Then we have your costume sizes already, is my point. Okay, playlist. This is kind of outdated information saying make a playlist for your show day, but the playlist is kind of already made for you. If you need to make your own playlist, go ahead and do that. The show day, most schools, the show is on the very last day of class, the last 15 minutes of class. Make sure you wear your Funky Divas shirt, do your hair and makeup. You know, parents are coming, people from the school are coming. So you're probably gonna have to talk to parents and, you know, it's a show day, like look presentable. Okay, make sure to smile and have fun at the show. Setting up for the show. So we usually just find an area off to the side to lay out your costumes. I have to delete this. It says you will be provided with bags and write the kid's name on it. We don't do that anymore. If you need to change the kids' clothes, like the shirts they were wearing, just put it in their backpack. Or you can fold them all in a nice row so that they can easily find it afterwards. We ask that girls wear their own leggings. They'll either wear black leggings or we've kind of gone with any color leggings now, so that when they get there, all they have to do is pull their skirt on. It's not this big ordeal to change in the bathroom. They might go change. We even have some schools where we ask them to wear an under tank top and leggings. Some of the schools have asked us to do this so that it's not this huge ordeal taking the kids to the bathroom. We can just put a tank top over their tank top they already have on and slip the skirts on. But if you're a school, if the kids need to go change in the bathroom, that's fine. Boys can either change their shirt or they can just put their t-shirt over the shirt that they're wearing. Tape the floor, and if you do write their name with a Sharpie, make sure that their name is facing them. So it's whenever you go to like tape the floor and when you want to write their name, you're usually facing the kids, and when you write it, then the name is facing you, and then the kids go to stand on the tape and it's upside down to them. So just make sure you write their name so that it's facing the kids. Otherwise they'll say, my name is upside down. Just little advice.
I love when they roast me on my handwriting. They're like, this doesn't say Abby. This says, this is not a B. They say that to me all the time.
For sure. They call you out on everything, like you don't want to misspell their name. They'll freak out. Like definitely have to rewrite it. So the setup, so I usually discuss this with the school ahead of time. Your show is like, it could be, we have some schools where the dance class is held outside the parents just come and stand around like as the audience, or maybe they bring blankets and sit down on the grass and watch it. But most of them are indoors. And so depending on your situation, we'll have the school help us set up chairs. But the goal is for us to set up like a few rows of chairs and leave an aisle down the middle so that you, the teacher, are standing behind the audience and you're still going to do the dance moves with them or like slightly guide them, you know, so that the kids can still see you, but but the audience doesn't see you. So that's the ideal situation. That can't always happen depending on the situation that you're in, but that's like our ideal situation. If you have to set up the chairs, then you can, or like if they set up chairs and you're like, this is not how we want it, then you can just rearrange it. There are a few schools that still film the show instead of have an in-person show. Growing Outdoors is one of them. If you have kindergarten classes there, ever since COVID, I don't know how it's been for you, Cheyenne, have all of your shows there been in person since COVID?
Yes, they've been in person.
They have? Okay. Okay, so for some reason, I don't know if this is a Growing Outdoors thing, but they've told us that the kindergartners, parents are not allowed on campus during school hours, they say, because our kindergarten classes are early. So we've been filming. They might be lying to me. I don't know.
I mean,
but
I guess
we've been
usually they're after school, so maybe that's the during the school hours.
Yeah. So yeah, because they're like earlier in the day than those ones we've been filming, and your Growing Outdoors assistant will film it and they'll email it to me, and then we edit it into a video, send it back to them, and they email it to the parents. And then if it's an after school class, like the older kids, then it's the show and we invite the parents. So Shannon, for your classes, since they're the younger kids, I've emailed Growing Outdoors a couple days ago. I haven't heard back yet. So I'll let you know if they're going to be filmed or if they're in person.
Okay.
And then if they are filmed, I send Growing Outdoors our filming rules, because when we started back at schools after COVID, all of the shows were filmed. So we had to give our teachers rules on how to film, like film horizontal, not vertical, like it's Instagram or TikTok. So, because everybody wants to film vertical now, just little details. So you're not actually filming it now, the Growing Outdoors people are. Actually, New Academy has filmed some of their shows too. So I usually try to give them instructions of telling them how to film it so they don't mess it up. And little details if you're filming it, like you want to make sure their formations are nice and spaced out so you can see all the kids, because some of them were so bad, like you can't see one kid dancing the whole time. Imagine how pissed off their parents are going to be, you know, like this is the show and I can't see my child at all. My kids' daycare does that, where they do this Christmas performance every year, and it is the worst. The worst. You can't see most of the kids. They're completely blocked. And it's like the kids, they get all dressed up and they have this cool Christmas background, and you only see a couple kids in the front, and everybody behind them is just like a blob. And I'm like, this was such a waste. Like, I want to go in there and tell them, but whatever. Not my company. Okay, so typically at a show, also you do a rehearsal that day. So all schools are a little bit different. I prefer to get in there and just practice the dance routines really quickly and then get into costume, because if you have parents arriving, then you don't want to be practicing the routines while the parents get there. So you just want to get that out of the way and then go move off to the side and get the kids dressed while the parents are starting to like fill up the seats, and then do the show. We have some really large classes in the Redondo Beach area, and it works best for them. Like as soon as the kids get out of their classroom and they come, they just start getting them dressed right away, just because it takes so long to get them dressed. So, you know, there's no like set rule on that, but I just find that if the parents start showing up while you're rehearsing and they walk in and you're like, you try to like not let them in the room, but they might make it in the room anyway, then you've totally lost the kids. They're just like, oh my God's here, you know? Okay, showtime. So again, all the situations are totally different. I used to have little, depending on the school you're at and the situation, I used to put signs on the door and shut the door and say like, please do not come in, rehearsal in progress, stuff like that. You guys have assistants, so you probably won't have to do that, but depending on your situation, if you're in a room where the door can be closed, then just tell your assistant like, okay, let's not let the parents in until we're ready. And then depending on if you're doing the show by yourself or if you have an assistant coming to the show, we have assistants come if you have a really large class or if it's your first show or if the kids are really little and you need help getting them into costume. But one of you guys is probably going to have to talk in front of the audience. Just a quick little introduction. Thank you for coming. A reminder to sign up next session. Excluding schools like Growing Outdoors where they mix us up at different schools all the time, that wouldn't really make sense. But if we ever ask you to like, you know, say a few words at the show, then I'll give you a little script of what to say. If you're at a school that's like in Santa Monica or something, we're probably going to say, mention our summer camp. But if you're at a school in Agora, you're not going to really mention our summer camp in Santa Monica because that doesn't really make sense. So after the show, again, we'll let you know if the kids keep the shirts or not. They never keep the skirts or the headbands or bandanas or anything like that. But if the shirt is included, we'll let you know they keep it. Some schools we can sell them, other schools we just don't sell them or give them away at all. Help the kids get out of costumes, put the costumes nicely back into the suitcase. You know, talk to any parents, check the dressing area, make sure no costume pieces are left behind, peel the tape off the floor. I don't know, it says it in here somewhere. I don't know if I skipped it, but when you tape the floor at the end of class, before you play your game, you can have all the kids pick up their own tape and throw it away. So that at the end of class, you're not stuck picking up their dirty tape that they've been stepping on. So it just makes it a lot faster if you just say, everybody pick up your tape, throw it away, and then you play your games. So, but after the show, make sure that you, we don't want to leave any evidence behind of our class being there. The school doesn't usually appreciate it. So peel off the tape. It says take the banner down. We don't really do the banner anymore. We had a banner that says Funky Divas and Dudes and kind of a pain. And that's it. And then make sure to make arrangements, probably with Shannon, to return your costumes. If she brought the costumes to you, then you're going to return your costumes back after the show. She's going to be very organized and remember who has which costumes. We've had people like months later say, oh, I have costumes of yours. Do you want them? We're like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Okay, dance, we're almost done. Instructor expectations. I'm just gonna read this first paragraph. Finding instructors that work well with children, are talented dancers, and fit into the Funky Divas and Dudes brand is not an easy task. We lend tremendous trust in the instructors we hire. Remember, you are the face of Funky Divas and Dudes while on school campuses, dealing with the school administration and talking with parents. The kids look up to you and rely on you to be consistent and energetic. Please read through the following rules and expectations for our instructors. Be on time. We already talked about no eating or chewing gum in class, no personal cell phone texts or calls during class or on school campus. Side note, 15 years ago, we were not allowed to even bring our cell phones like out. Like if they saw us holding a cell phone, that would be bad. Now cell phones are what we use for everything. Some of our schools have like the kids sign in through an app. So you use your phone to sign the kids in and out. Or same thing for us. I might ask you, you use the phone for your music. So of course we all have our phones out now, like that's fine. Just don't be on the phone with your boyfriend or husband or your friend and just like gossiping while you're supposed to be watching the kids. That's all that means. Reminder to put your phone on airplane mode. Don't take photos of the kids at schools and post them on social media, strict school policies. We do have some classes where we ask you to take photos, or camps, maybe like music video class. It's not saying you can't ever take a photo of them, just we have some schools that have strict privacy. Well, they all do really, but some of them you have to sign like an oath of confidentiality. A school we teach at in West Hollywood, because Beyonce's daughter and Jay-Z's daughter goes there, and she was in our classes for many years. So to even go onto that campus, you have to sign an oath of confidentiality. So just don't post it on social media. You can't sell or solicit products that are not Funky Divas and Dudes, or we can't even sell our shirts at some schools. That's on there because we did have a teacher once who made shirts and she sold them to some kids, well, to their parents, and we don't care, but the school did not like that. We just have to get permission before we do anything at the schools, basically. These are all super obvious things, like no use of inappropriate language or gestures. Again, we had issues with break dancers who would accidentally say shit and damn to the kid. I mean, we've had it all. You must exhibit professionalism at all times. You must respect all other employees and staff on campuses. If you are asked for anything beyond the scope of your class that you teach that day through Funky Divas and Dudes, like if somebody asks about talent shows or birthday parties, private lessons, just have them book it through Funky Divas and we'll book you to do the job. Be well prepared for class, know your choreography, never leave a class or child unattended, even after class during pickup time. Again, an issue with a break dancer. Get to know the kids, make them feel important. So try to learn their names, try to get to know them. Respect our electronics, handle them with care, treat them like you bought it yourself. Respect the classroom space, put things back the way they were. We already talked about that. Treat this class like it's a gig, give it 100%. Dress code. If possible, try to wear the tank top or t-shirt that we give you, the Funky Diva shirt. That way people know who you are on campus. We have a few schools or school districts that require that you either wear like an ID badge or you wear a shirt. So then they just know who you are. Dress appropriate. School and kid-friendly dance attire must be worn in dance class. Just no crop tops, spaghetti straps, cleavage showing, midriff showing. You know, don't think of it like you're going to the studio. Think of it like you're going to a school. And you know, just wear more funky athletic attire. You can wear leggings, sweats, joggers. Don't wear jeans. Look like you're teaching a dance class. Let's see. Wear tennis shoes. We've had people show up in like, you know, boots and things that just, this says cover your tattoos if you can. That's actually pretty outdated. And large visible piercings, but that you don't need to cover your tattoos. So I just need to delete that. Things have changed in the last like 15 years. Look clean and presentable, engaging kids. If you're prepared for class, things will move smoothly. Know your choreography. The better you know it, the better they know it. After all, they're really just following you. Kids will immediately know if you're not prepared and start acting out. Get to know the kids' names. It will help you with discipline and connecting with the kids. Keep things moving. Kids have a short attention span. Have energy. This is a high energy job. Even on days when you're sluggish, put on a good act while you're teaching. I'm sure you guys, you all have experience teaching kids. I find that if I'm having a bad day, or if I was going through a breakup or something, when I would get around the kids, they would feed me energy, and it was easier to put on a smile and get through the class. Have fun. The kids look up to you as a role model. They chose this class because they love to dance, participate in games, and freestyle dancing. Often kids will feel shy, and if you are just standing or sitting during games, they will too. So, participate in the games. Don't be scared to be a little silly, and have fun with the kids. Discipline. So we give you the stickers like we talked about to motivate them for good behavior, but everybody has to get a sticker. Time out. So we have Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District does not allow timeouts. So we avoid using the word timeout now, just because all the schools have different rules. So we just say, like, if a child needs a timeout, we just say, why don't you take a break? Come over here and, stand next to me or sit down next to me and take a break. Make sure to use discipline. Don't be afraid to do that, but just don't be too strict and quick to have kids sit out. We don't want to scar a child and have them drop the class. Don't send kids to the office. You cannot give timeouts at Crest schools. That's the Santa Monica schools. If you have any issues with kids, you can talk to me about it. Or if you guys are teaching at schools right now where you have that assistant, that's a support system from the school, they're probably going to be handling most of that stuff. We have other schools where you do not have any support at all. So that's when you would come to me, and then I will talk to the school about it, and the school will talk to the parents. So we kind of try to avoid dealing with the parents ourselves. We let the school kind of figure out how they want us to handle it. If they ask us to talk to the parent, then we'll talk to the parent. And sometimes, like, if there's a child that's having some sort of behavioral issues, then we also talk to the coordinator about it. And like most of the time, it's something that child is also having issues with in their regular classroom, and they've come up with some sort of an action plan for that child. And so it's helpful if we talk to the school first, and then they'll help us figure out, like, okay, this is what they're doing in their classroom. Why don't you try this in your class as well? Kids wanting to sit out. So, sometimes kids like get to class and they're like, I have a tummy ache, or I don't feel good. Can I sit out? And like, really, they might just like not feel like dancing. So we always tell them, well, if you sit out, then you can't play games at the end. And so then they're like, oh, well, I want to play games. So then they'll get in. And then also, if you let someone sit out, then someone else is going to say, my finger hurts. Can I sit out too? And you're like, so then all of a sudden you have this like ripple effect of kids wanting to sit out. So we just try to like not let kids sit out, like, unless they really need to. But if they really don't feel good, then they probably shouldn't be there. This is where your assistant can come into play. You can let them maybe deal with this. And all those schools have different rules, like if they can go to the office or the nurse and stuff like that, maybe go with a partner. But again, we could talk about each school individually. Reminder, this class is for fun. We're not a studio or a competition team. Therefore, the main goal is to have a good time while learning dance routines and gaining self-esteem. Be authoritative, but not too strict. Here's a few do nots. Again, these are all things that have happened in the past. The first one, I'll just explain what that is about. No sexy jazz walks, no strutting across the floor. We teach at a Catholic school in Pacific Palisades. And the head of the school, or one of the administrators, is just this very like tight, like angry woman. And she always just had it out for us. And this was so many years ago, and we still teach at this school. She must not be there anymore, but she was walking by one of our dance classes, and it was a very long session. This class was always like maybe 15 or 16 weeks long. And so they had this time to fill, and they would do across the floor. So they were doing jazz walks across the floor. And you know, with the jazz walks, you're like, your hips and your shoulders are shaking. And these little girls are doing this, and the administrator was floored. She was like so livid that we were teaching these sexy moves to kids. And you know, jazz walks, you just naturally moves your shoulders and your hips. If you were at a dance studio and you were doing that, that would be just like a basic dance move. So we just have to be mindful of things like that. Like, we try to keep our moves like less shoulder shaking and hip shaking, and a little more like funky and simple. When the kids are freestyling, they do whatever they want to do, so you can't really control it. Obviously, if they're gonna do something like you don't want them twerking like in their freestyle. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I'm just saying as an example, like, don't let them do that. But yeah, just avoid things that look too sexy. Don't single kids out. Don't make them feel shy or uncomfortable. Don't point out their weaknesses. Don't force kids to do anything. Even though in our rules we say you have to try it, don't force them. Don't waste time disciplining a child or giving attention to a child acting out when you have to engage the rest of the class. Just meaning, if there's somebody who's taking your attention too much, then maybe start to give them less attention. Let them sit in the corner and just make sure that you have control of your whole class. Because if you're wasting time disciplining a child, then that's not fair to the rest of the class. You know, they're wasting their time, and then you're going to lose them. They're going to start running around and acting crazy. Let's see, absences and subs. It says, please refer to the subbing policy, which is outdated. I have to fix that. For now, you're going to reach out to, right now you reach out to me. I might have Shannon help me with this. If you need a sub, then let us know in as much advance notice as possible so that we can work on getting you a sub. As you guys are aware, some of our schools have specific guidelines in order to teach there, like the background checks and stuff. So we can only have certain people subbing at certain schools. The schools that you guys are teaching at, it's fine. We can have pretty much anyone sub, but the more notice we have, the best. If you're not feeling good the night before, like, let us know. Like, I'm not feeling good. I'm hoping I feel good in the morning, but I just want to give you a heads up, because it's so much easier to find a sub the day before, even if it's just like a backup on call, than it is like an hour before your class starts, because then it's just not possible to get a sub. Some of our schools, we're able, like, they allow an extra week. Like, if we had to cancel a class for an emergency, a car accident or something like that, they can tack on an extra class to the end of the session. Sometimes they don't have that option. So we don't want to miss out on a class that we were supposed to have, because the kids all paid for it, and it's just a big mess if we ever have to cancel a class. So we avoid it at all costs. Okay, if it's an emergency, please call us and text us for the quickest response. Don't send an email saying, I can't teach my class that starts in an hour, because we might not get that notification. Well, mine might be in the meeting. I don't know. I don't always get that notification. So just, you know, use your judgment. Like, if it's an emergency, call me, text me. Requirements, we have already talked about live scan and TB. Cheyenne, I'm going to get you the Growing Outdoors live scan information. I'm going to wait to have you go do it closer to the class. And then the TB, we're going to try to get your TB results that you already had. Ariel, I'm going to get it done for you. No rush for your school. They don't have requirements, but we'll just get it done at some point. So I'll send you that information. Materials and non-compete. So basically just saying the choreography that we give you, just use it for Funky Divas and Dudes classes. We know that most of our teachers teach lots of classes, different places. Just keep our choreography within our schools and our classes. And then upon resignation, just make sure you return any materials that you were using. You don't have to return your t-shirt unless it's unused or something, but just meaning like the speaker and stuff like that. Like, just return your materials to us before you stop working for us. And that is it. Let me just see. I had some notes. I wanted to. Okay, we won't go. I was going to show you a couple videos, but I don't think it's important. I actually already sent it, Ariel, for you in that cheer curriculum that I sent. There's the sample videos. You can go ahead and click on those. And that is New Academy LA. That was them last spring. So you're at New Academy Canoga Park. So it's not the same situation, but it'll give you an idea of what those kids can do and like what they're like. That gives you a good example. And yeah, that's it. Is there any questions for me? No? Ariel, do you have a question? Yeah.
I just have a question about, because I'm teaching a ballet class, so I was unsure how that one works.
I will send you information on that as well. I have a little curriculum to send you. And I do have a couple videos that I can send you as well. It's not the same school, but New Academy had a ballet. Actually, it's in that link. There's a ballet class. This gives you an example of what one of the schools did for a ballet routine. But I'll send you, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention ballet, but I have a little curriculum for that. And we can talk about a song to use for their routine or a couple routines. So there was something else I was going to say. Yeah, so I am trying to finish the Google Calendar invites today and the ballet curriculum. And if you guys have any questions, I'm here. Text, phone call, email, anytime. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, I will talk to everybody. I will talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Nice to meet you both.
Have a good day.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Bye.